outside our new home. We're gonna Ellen for the first time. Ariel, you see what's in here?
Chub key here.
So, this is day one for me in the house. Evan's been here all weekend doing some work, so I'm gonna give you a quick tour. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, if it's gonna be like a one vlog or a series, but I'm gonna give you a tour of the house, okay? So the house was built in 1925. It has been in the same family before us for 100 years. We need to do a lot of work, but we bought it because it has really good like charm, a lot of original features, so you're gonna have to see the vision, if you get what I mean. So when you come in, this is the hallway. I don't have a wide angle lens on this camera, so I can't get it all in, but you get the idea. Two really nice windows up here. This is the front room with a bay window. It was looking more livable before this weekend because we've already taken off all the wallpaper. We've taken up, there was a carpet here. We've taken all that up. These are the original floors. Elle is here. Hey Elle. This is the kind of back. Obviously these houses would have two sitting rooms. So here we have it. We've got French doors out to the back garden. They were using this as like almost like a dining room and sitting room. I don't think he was using the front room. And this is where shit gets weird. So this would have been the original kitchen here to where that door ends. Sorry, my voice is fucked, guys. I was away at my bachelorette party all weekend and I cannot speak because I was screaming. So here we have like a little kitchenette area. Then this is an extension that was built in the 70s. This is the kitchen that's built in the 70s. We've already started pulling shit out of it. Really nice big back garden, which was a big selling point for us because we wanted to live in this area, but most of the gardens were really small. And this is like, I think 15 meters long. I'll bring you upstairs now. So when you come up to the hall, we have this nice kind of double height here, which is lovely. This is one bedroom. So again, we've taken down loads of stuff. This was already kind of a little bit deconstructed when we came in. This is the other bedroom. Evan's already got to work in here as well. Was there carpets in here?
There was carpets here, it stank.
He's more honest than I am. I was working in the house over the weekend.
We didn't do much, got rid of the carpets and then in this room cleaned it and yeah, wallpaper downstairs, that's it really.
And then this is like a little box room. Come here, Al. Come here. That definitely, I mean this needs to be, obviously everywhere needs to be completely done, but it's actually pretty big for a box room, but I'll probably take it as, we'll probably have it as an office for a while anyway. And that's it. That's the whole house. Oh, I didn't show you this stunning bathroom. Again, the wide angle on this is not great for showing. Maybe I'm better off doing this. So look, it's a bathroom. It has a bath here, sink, toilet, but it's actually pretty good size again. We just have to decide what we want to do with it. Who knows? We have to decide what we want to do with the whole damn house. There we go. That's the house tour. We officially own it now, which is crazy. Yeah. So I got to work on this room. Oh my god, little did I know how much wallpaper there was going to be. I think I counted at least 9 layers of wallpaper that was in this room alone. They just kept wallpapering and wallpapering their lives away, apparently. It took, at the end of the day, it ended up taking 3 people 2 days to do this room, which in comparison to the front room took like, I think it took like half an hour, Evan said, and the hall was really quick as well. So we just took the top layer off and then the rest was soaked with water overnight and then peeled off. But it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of satisfying. So we're on our way to the house. I haven't been there since Sunday. It's now Wednesday. Evan has been working away. Evan's been doing loads of work, in fairness to him. He has been there for like 12-hour days, if not longer, over the past 2 days, and I'll show you some of the progress in the gaff. We don't really know what we're doing like after this yet, because we have like a lot of decisions to make, but like we just wanted to make sure we got like all the wallpaper off the walls, get the house clean because it was filthy, and just kind of make it, at least get a head start on some of the work, you know what I mean? Like, we're getting married soon, so we're not going to move in until after that anyway, so we have a week or two, well, probably like a week, to really kind of decide on what our next steps are, get some people in, get some people to advise us and give us quotes. We obviously don't have like the money right now to do like any major building work. That is so expensive at the moment, so even if we had the money, it wouldn't even be really the best investment, I don't think. A lot of people we speak to, and I've spoken to as well, friends of mine who are moving, are all kind of waiting a few years to do any of that kind of work, just because everything is just really expensive at the moment. Who knows if it won't be expensive in a few years, but it's very expensive now. Some other stuff like the electrics and the plumbing, they will need to be done eventually in the house, but we're just trying to decide whether we spend our money to do that now, or kind of, like, it's still livable. Like, the house has had someone living there, so trying to see, should we just like kind of fix it up with what we have and kind of invest more in making it livable for a couple of years. All of these decisions are very important and very annoying, because, you know, if we say wanted to knock a wall, we can't, not that we have the money to do, but we can't put any floors in, because then that would obviously affect the floors, and they all, it's like a domino, right? They all like affect each other in time, so that's why we have to get some people into the house and just get some advice. But we're going to be doing more cleaning today, so I'll show you some progress, and I'll show you what Evan has done once we get there. And Elle is with us again today. She went crazy there the last time. I think she thought we were going to leave her there, but I guess we're trying to get her used to the house as well, you know, get her to piss all over it, get her sent there. See you at the house. Okay, so we're back in the house. This is the room that I was in the other day. Let me turn the camera around. So we got all the wallpaper off, all of it off. So there was obviously a door here, pretty big door, to be honest, and I eventually would like to knock this wall, so we're going to see how much that would cost, because we might be able to get that done now. Elle is going crazy in the house because she keeps saying we're going to leave her here, I think, but we're trying, as I said, get her used to it. Kitchen is the same. I'll show you what else we've done. So look at our lovely pipes in the ceiling. This is part of what we need to either cover or move in the plumbing, so we don't know, but they were covered by like a skirting, kind of upper skirting. Shush up. This is the other room. The lights are on in here, the blinds are down, so this is pretty much the same. So all the picture rails are still up here. Picture rails are still up there. They're all original to the house. They were taken down in here at some point. I'd love to possibly get some more back up there, but it's not the end of the world if not. But I do love the look of them, and I think it would be nice, and I would love to get some, like, is it called cornicing? Like some nice kind of woodwork, either to cover these up if we do that first, or just in general, I would do that. My dad and Evan are here today. Bedroom, back bedroom, pretty much the same. They just got, there was like, they could kind of clean up the walls yesterday. But we have the picture rails here as well. Box room. This was being basically used as I think just a storage room, so this is probably the room that is in bits the most. Look at that old ass light switch from like the 60s. I guess this is the master bedroom. I think they're pretty similar in size, the two rooms, so we don't know which one we're going to take yet. They got all, if you remember, it was all like a red wallpaper, so they got all that off. Oh, Al just took a shit in the middle of the room. 1 second. So then it was time for me to get to work basically and start cleaning the grout in the kitchen. The kitchen was filthy. Now we're not keeping this kitchen obviously, but like it might have to make do even for a temporary kitchen until we can, you know, these things take so long to order in and everything. So it was very important to get this clean. This is that HG grout cleaner stuff I shared at the start. It's so good. My dad came in here and was like, you need to use this brush. Look at the dirt, guys. Oh my god. But that was basically all this day, the whole day. So it's probably very echoey. I'm done today's work. Oh, I'm sitting on something wet. I basically just scrubbed that kitchen, guys. That kitchen was foul. The dirtiest thing I've ever seen. It still needs more work. It still needs a lot more fucking work to it, but we got through it. I'm kind of at the point, I'm sure there's going to be many of these points, but I'm at a point where I'm kind of like, there's so much work to do. But look, slowly but surely we are getting through it and getting it prepped and yeah, trying to make some decisions. My battery is going to die. Hi Elle was here all day as well, freaking the hell out. She's like, who the fuck are you talking to? My battery's going to die in this camera, so I'm going to love you and leave you. Okay guys, so today's Sunday. I first spoke to you on Monday. So I'm going to show you all that we've done to the house. My dad's outside spraying the driveway because there's loads of weeds. So I'm going to show you everything we've done to the house in 1 week. We've done a lot of prep, which I'm very happy for. Now, of course, you can see behind me, we've got plastered walls. You're going to have to use your imagination here, okay, for the potential of this house. And I'll talk to you a bit about some of the plans that we have. I don't have, obviously, like, it's going to take us a while to like finalize everything. And that's what everyone who has spoken to us about has just said, that like, take your time, everything else. So I'll speak to you, I'll show you the house, and then I'm going to answer some questions at the end of this video because I did a little Q&A over on Instagram because I just wanted to answer like some frequently asked questions. So here's our hallway. We stripped all the wallpaper, stripped it all down. So it looks a little darker in here now just because the walls are like this yellow plaster. You remember it was the blue, stunning blue painted wallpaper. The walls are in really good condition, which we're delighted about. There's obviously like holes that need to be filled because they were mad for, I don't know, putting nails into all things. Took down that, there's a real old banister, took that down. Do you love the setup? I think I'll talk you through this now because I think it makes most sense. So a lot of people have just told us like just focus on it room by room, obviously. So like get your bedroom, get your a nice living room, like get 1 to 2 rooms done nice so you feel nice and cozy in it, and then tackle the rest like as they come. Like don't overwhelm yourself with trying to do everything at once. So we've decided that this room is going to be like, we're going to tackle this as a priority to make it like a lovely cozy living space. And we obviously have the back room as well. With that back room, I'll speak to you when we're in it, but this one I feel like we just kind of have an idea of what we want, and by what we I mean me. So I'm going to change the orientation of this door so that it opens to the wall, because I just think it makes more sense, you know, rather than it going like this. It means you've got more space. So that will open over here. Obviously we're going to keep this fireplace. We were unsure, and then I was like, actually no, I think we should keep it. And a load of people wrote to me being like, please do not get rid of that. And I was like, okay, fair. So my dream is to have floor to ceiling bookshelves either side here. So that's pretty manageable with some storage. So like we'll do a drawer. We're gonna put the TV above the fireplace, which I was kind of against, but it's just kind of the only place we have. And also it's not a super high fireplace. This is probably only 3 foot, like it only comes up to about my hip. So it's not too high. We have all the picture rails here in really good shape. One fell down, but I have it there saved. We'll put it back up. This I love. This is an original feature of the house, and it's just something that you don't get in houses anymore, where they would have like got a carpenter to build in these cabinets. I just think they're so cute. Like, oh my God, so cute. So I cleaned all that, scrubbed it down. We didn't bother cleaning the ceilings, there's dirt in the ceilings, because we're getting the electrics and the plumbing done, so like it's probably all going to be torn down anyway, so there's no point in scrubbing them yet. And then obviously this radiator will be moved. We're not doing underfloor heating because we have concrete floors under these floorboards, which is very unusual. But it just would mean it's just a bigger job, and look, I'm okay with having a radiator, so I'm going to put a radiator in the corner and get a cover on it. Whatever, this detail you probably don't need to know. So the back room, we're kind of leaving this. Now, obviously we're going to get it when, like, look at the pipes. Like, this is our plumbing situation. The pipes and electrics are in the ceiling beside each other. Love that. We're going to get all the plumbing done, obviously, so they'll be gone. This is a water tank, and we're going to get a combi boiler, so that will be gone. So that means we'll either have that for storage, or we'll get rid of it and put our own something there. But in general, once this is like wired, plumbing, everything done, and we get some plastering, or I kind of want to put up a picture rail, which is easy enough to do apparently.
We're just gonna get this painted white and do whatever we're gonna do with the floors and just leave it for a while, because it all really depends on what we do with the kitchen situation. Now, ideally what I would like to do in our kitchen, obviously there's a dividing wall here. I would like to break down this wall, which I don't think will be that big of a job, because you'll see this was a door. We thought it was just a hatch, but it's actually a full door. So no, we won't be doing this in like the next fucking few months, but in general, I think that's what we need to do. And then we'll have this lovely casual living space and dining area. Then we have, this is like the shittest part of the house. Like, let's be real, like it's fucking a weird vibe. Like I've got a window into my garage because they put the garage on in the 70s and didn't board up the window. It's so random. So this would have been the old kitchen, and then this is an extension that was put on in the 70s. I scrubbed this, guys. You want to see it? You probably saw a clip of me. So this obviously isn't my fucking dream kitchen for the rest of my life. Like, look, there's fucking tape up on the wall. It's like, it's in bits, guys, it's in bits. But I don't have 300 grand to do a massive extension. So we're gonna make this like a cute kitchen for now, okay? We're just gonna deal with it. And you know, not everything, you don't get everything immediately, and that's okay. So we've actually got a pretty good space here. Like, it's really not that much bigger, or much smaller, should I say, than my kitchen in Malahide. If not, it's pretty fucking similar. Like, I think Malahide might be a little bit deeper, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. So I might do a really nice little U-shaped, simple kitchen here that will do us for a few years. And then ultimately, I think we're gonna, like, this is like 10-year plan, build into the garage and then have this whole other side of the house, and we'll have like a big living area, kitchen area, and then maybe like make this one room. I don't know, we'll see what we do with that. Hallway, you've seen really high ceilings here. Like, look at that, stunning. I love the hallway. Was one thing that I loved because we have these two windows. So those two hallway windows I just think are so fab. So nothing really changed up here other than ripping down wallpaper. This is the box room, which will probably be my office. Oh, there's nice lighting in here. Okay, see, you get to know all these things about your house. Then this is the master bedroom. This is the bedroom that we're gonna take. We didn't know if we were gonna take this one or the back one, but this is just that little bit bigger. Again, I'm gonna change the orientation of this door so that it opens into the wall rather than into where the bed will go. This little window in the box room is for ventilation, but I need to get a piece of, I don't know, glass. There was just cardboard up covering it. And then the bathroom, my stunning bathroom. The fucking state of this bathroom. There's nice light in it. This is what I love, because like my house at the moment, the apartment, just, it's like north facing, so you get no real like nice light, and the bathrooms are all windowless. So to have like some nice light here for like I'm thinking like doing makeup or whatever, it's so nice. So with this bathroom, I don't fully know what our plan is yet. And we need to think of the orientation where we're going to put everything, because obviously the house is getting replumbed anyway, so we can play around with things a little bit. We're going to keep the bath. Again, controversial decision, but if we have kids, I realized we'll need a bath. And our friend of ours was like, keep your bath, because he's like, I got rid of my bath and then we have kids and now I'm putting a bath back in. And I was like, yeah, fuck that shit. Which isn't my favorite because I don't love a bath shower, but we're just gonna fucking deal with it again. I want to do the style that I want to do my bathroom in is I want to do almost like an Edwardian style bathroom, like kind of very old school. I love that. I'm not into like a full marble bathroom. They can look pretty nice if your house is like massive, but I think when you're like, this is actually a pretty good sized bathroom. It's pretty big, but I think it would just look really nice in this. And I love the sink. The sink is the original sink. It's like a really nice pedestal old school sink. Oh fuck, I really want to keep it, but it's just the taps. Like, I don't, the girls will get me when you're washing your face having to fill a basin with two separate faucets. Am I being a princess? Let me know what you think. So that's everything we've done in the house. It's so lovely being in the house. Like, it's like such a sunny evening on Sunday, and I'm like seeing all the light in the house, and it's getting a bit like, oh my god, like I fucking own this bitch. It's so weird. It's such a weird feeling. But yeah, okay, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Well, I'll be back immediately for you guys because I'm going to answer some questions, and that will be it for the first house vlog, I guess. Okay, so I'm in my very echoey room. I apologize, but this is how we're going to get through. I asked on Instagram because I think there's just so many questions with like buying a house. I'll get into it, but like they don't teach you any of this. I knew nothing about the process until I did it. So I'm here to try and help you as much as I can. And we can talk about plans for this, anything that I haven't touched on so far. So someone asked, how do you get a mortgage approved? I sound stupid, but I've no idea, or how much to save. Well, bitch, you're not stupid because no one teaches you these things. No one teaches you like the process of getting a mortgage, like which is crazy because it's like something we should all be prepared for. So, how do you get a mortgage? There's two ways you can do it. Obviously, first off, by the way, I'm not a financial advisor or lawyer or anything like that. So this is just my experience, okay? First way you can do is apply directly to the bank. So that means you'll have to do the application yourself, all that kind of stuff. Or you can go through a broker. Now, Evan and I went through a broker and it was doddle.ie. That sounds very sponsored vibes. It's not whatsoever. Evan and I have the same accountant and he works with Martina from Doddle, and he recommended we go to her because he was just like, she's a great broker. So we said okay, because Evan and I were in we're in a pretty specific situation because we're both self-employed, and it's notoriously hard for self-employed people to get mortgages, and we're both self-employed. And obviously also like I only have Red Room like just 2 years, so all of those things factor into it, especially when you are self-employed. So first off, there are your options of how you actually go to apply. I think going through a broker is really good because they basically act like your agent to the bank, and they basically sell you to the bank, but it's completely your own choice. A broker also will really help you get like your shit in order. So what you need to have is 6 months of like clean, nice accounts where you're not like spending more than you are making, where you are not like in debt, paying credit cards. All of those kind of things can affect, as far as I know, a mortgage application. So for 6 months, I think it could be a good idea, if you've no idea, to like meet with your broker and be like, I plan on applying in 6 months or in the next year, and they will help you get your like ducks in a row, so to speak. So that's one thing. Or a bank will also help you as well if you go in and ask them. But the good thing about going to a broker is she would look at all banks and all of their interest rates, and then so that's what Martina from Doddle did with us. And then it was like, okay, we're better off going with this bank, or like this bank is good if you want like renovation money and all that kind of stuff. So I would recommend a broker. It's just what we did, but again, completely up to you. So what you do is you put the application in, then the bank approves or denies. You get the mortgage for 6 months. Sometimes I think now they are giving them for a little bit longer. But then every 6 months you will have to reapply because the mortgage basically expires after 6 months. So that's that process, and you're not stupid, don't worry. But I would say the best thing to do is just like go into a bank and ask them, or go to find a broker. I'll link my broker down below, her website. Again, zero, there's nothing in me whatsoever that has to share that. It just sounds so like sponsored, but I promise you it's not. And Martina is like a legend. She's so fucking cool, and she speaks really plainly, like none of that like, that's what would confuse me. Like I would get so overwhelmed with like the lingo and the like interest rates, and like I was asking her questions and I was like, what's an interest rate? You know what I mean? Like I had no idea. So that is that on that. Oh yeah, I got loads of questions asking me this. Did you actively look for a doer-upper, or was it for like financial reasons that you got a house that is in stunning condition? Now, I will say our house is completely livable, and like someone was living here for like up until he left, and it has been in the same family the entirety of its life, which I just think is so special. Like for 100 years, the same family lived in this home, and it's been taken care of pretty well. Now, obviously, it needs a lot of rejuvenation that I've gone through, but we did want to do a upper. So when you buy your first house, there's a lot of incentives for you to buy a new build. And for some people, that is absolutely the right decision, because especially if you've got like kids or anything like that, like I couldn't imagine doing all this if you have a child. But we wanted a doer-upper for a few reasons. Number one, we wanted to move closer to town. Because Evan has a lot of work in town, he has a studio in town, I sometimes have some work in town, and living that little bit further out in Malahide was the traffic was getting so bad, there's so much building going on along there, and we realised like what we will pay a little extra for living closer to, like living in more central Dublin, we'll gain in time basically, travelling, driving, all that kind of stuff. So once we knew the area that we were going to be buying in or wanted to buy in, it became very clear very quickly that we will need to buy a house that needs some love, shall we say, because anything that was newly renovated or turnkey was just asking for crazy money. We went to see this one house on Nottingham Street in North Strand, and it was gorgeous. Like, this house was beautiful. They had it down points too, it had no parking, it was mid-terrace, but it was drop dead stunning. And I think it was up on the market, it basically went for like 150 grand more than what it was up for on the market. So that's what you're up against if you are looking for a turnkey house in closer to town Dublin area. And we just didn't have the money. We probably could have got the mortgage for what we were looking for, but we just didn't want that big massive mortgage. We wanted to keep it down under, we had a kind of certain price that we wanted to keep it down under. So then it became apparent for that, and it kind of made it easier for us because we were like, okay, so we're just going to be looking for a house with amazing potential. We didn't go into it wanting a house with quite so much work like this. Like needing plumbing and electrics is quite a lot. But once that's done, like, this house just needs painting and decorating, like realistically. Like, obviously there's loads of things we'll want to do, but once those two things are done, like, we're pretty much good to go. There's new windows in this house, which is fab, so that saved us a lot of money because windows are expensive. The second reason why I kind of always wanted to do a doer-upper is the new builds for me, I'm just not very much into them, and the reason is because I'm very particular with what I like. And I don't like the style that a lot of the new builds are built in. Now, people have done them fabulous, don't get me wrong, but I grew up in an old house. So my parents bought a old house twice. So the first house that I lived in with them, which was very close to around here, I can't remember that much, but it was from around this period, the 20s. And then when I was 3.5, nearly 4, I think, or sorry, I would have been 4, nearly 5, because I was going to school. We bought a house, a beautiful house that I grew up in at the end of Ballymun Road, down by the Met Office, if you know that area. Gorgeous red brick, semi-D. It was stunning, Edwardian house. It was absolutely beautiful. And they bought it when all of their friends were buying new builds. My dad told me. Everyone told them they were insane. They bought the house for 90 grand. Let that sink in. And all their friends were buying houses for like 40 grand, 50 grand in like Lucan and all this. And my mum and dad were like, no, we're going to buy this house and we're going to like turn it into a home. And it was such a stunning house to grow up in. And I just love the character that an old house has. So when I started thinking about, do I want, like, you know, a newer house or an older house, my heart always went to an older house. And my taste, I love that kind of modern meets old school kind of taste. And also, like, when it came to like newer houses, even some of the houses that we saw that were in like pretty good condition and that you could 100% live in, like, say for example, if there was a new kitchen put in the last 10 years, but I hated how the kitchen looked, like, that would drive me mad, because I couldn't be in a house, and this is so, like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I just know myself. I would rather be in a house that looks like this, that I can make exactly how I want, rather than be in a house that has been done up, so I have no reason to want to tear out a kitchen, but have to exist in a kitchen that I despise, because obviously I wouldn't be able to justify tearing out a new kitchen. Do you get what I mean? Like, that, it's just, I love the idea of like having a blank slate and this being able to become like the house of my dreams. And the minute I saw this house, I was like, this can be the one. So yeah, I'm excited. So someone asked, are you renovating the whole house and will you live there before it's complete? So I think I spoke about it in this video a little bit, but what we're going to do is we're going to get a few rooms ready and then do it room by room. We're still renting at the moment in Malahide, So we obviously don't want to be spending, we want to get into this house before Christmas. Now the house will not be finished. But we're planning for the electrics and the plumbing to be finished, and then some little plastering spots that we'll need. So I'm good to go once that's that. Like, I've swallowed my pride and I've realized I will be living in a house that's like unfinished, and that's fine because it's my house and we can do it up as we go along. As I think I said at the start of the video, but like Instagram has given a real skewed reality of like people like getting their whole fucking house done in one thing. And look, if you can do that, I'm jealous. We can't afford to do that. So we will be doing it room by room, piece by piece, and it'll probably take us our whole life. I'm joking. Someone said, please tell me you're not ripping out the fireplace. No, we're keeping this fireplace. I will restore it a bit, like it needs a good clean, but it is fully functional. And the other fireplace we're gonna take out. And we're not gonna take out the chimney breast because it's just really expensive. It's like $6 grand, I think. We might do that in the future, but not for now. I might look for a reclaimed fireplace for that one, because that one is just, it's a bit old school, a bit, well, I'm not really into the how it looks. But I wouldn't mind, I might have a look to see if there's a reclaimed, like just a fire, what's it, like a fire piece? I don't know what that's called. But yeah, so if you have any ideas for where I could find that, do let me know. Oh, someone wants self-employed advice. So obviously Evan and I are both self-employed. And someone asked me also here, when you're self-employed, what do you have to say, what do you have to give for 6 months worth of pay slips? When you're applying for a mortgage, like if you have a regular job, you give 6 months worth of pay slips to prove like this is how much money you make. When you're self-employed, you have to give 6 months worth of your personal bank accounts and 6 months worth of your business bank accounts. There are some little things that are different. So one thing that you should look out for if you are self-employed, and something that happened to me, was I had to pay my tax bill early. So we applied this May, and they were like, we need you to pay your tax bill now, to basically prove how much I made last year, that it was like comparable to the years before. And that was mainly because my podcast is only 2 years old, even though like I've been podcasting full time for 5 years. But they did ask me other stuff. So like they asked me, again, because I'm not self-employed as long as Evan, they asked me like what my degree was in, like what my work experience is in. Basically, like if it all goes under, touch wood, it won't, can you get a job? And I was like, don't worry bitch, I can get a job. Are you financing your house renovation, or are you getting a loan on top of your mortgage? So that was offered to us. We were told that like, oh, if you want like 50 grand extra, they always say run when they say that to you. And it just didn't make sense for us. Like obviously you get this money and it would be really handy. If someone gave me 50 grand now, guys, I could make my dream house out of this gaff, right? But it just didn't make sense because the interest rates at the moment are pretty high. They're high for Ireland anyway. They're like, I think nearly 4% now. We got this house just before they changed again. So even though you'd be paying 50 grand back with a really high interest rate over 30, is it 30 years or 35 years? Like fuck that shit. Like you just end up paying back way more. So we have some money there to do the initial work that we have, which is great. We have some savings. That should cover our electrics and our plumbing. The rest we're just going to be doing bit by bit. We'll see if we need to get a loan, like a credit union loan, maybe for like the kitchen and the bathroom. We might see to do that. But our goal is to not have a load of overhead debt. I just don't want that. But obviously we have to see, we'll have to see. Are you going to continue to live in the apartment while the reno goes on? I think I answered that, but not for long. We want to be in here as soon as possible. So there will be renovation going on while we live here. And look, c'est la vie. Is it as hard, the house buying process, as people make it out to be? I'm so scared. I was terrified, okay? Because all you hear is horror stories. And now look, before I get into it, let me preface. The housing market in Ireland is a joke. There's so much competition. There's so little houses. It's fucking hard to get a mortgage. You have to save your ass off. Like, these things are true. All of that is true. However, I want to be a beacon of light for people, okay? Because all I heard was horror stories. It's all I fucking heard. 24/7, people being like, oh, it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad. Once we got our mortgage and we were approved, I think we applied mid-May. We got word when we were at our friend's wedding, which I think was the June bank holiday. So I think we got final approval then, and we were like, woohoo! and we went house hunting, and we went sale agreed within 2 weeks. Okay, so that is probably quite unusual, I understand, but I think once you know what you want, know where you want to live, it just narrows everything down a lot, right? So this house, I think I might have said this at the start of the video, but this house went up in the market before we got approval. We looked at it online and we're like, whatever, and then it just so happened that it's still up in the market when we had actually looked and bid on a few houses. And the minute I went into it, I was like, yeah, I think this is our house, even though I was like, oh my God, there's so much work to do. I wouldn't make it easy on myself, you know? But is it as scary as people say? Like, I guess like, it's never going to be a good experience. They always say moving house, buying a house is like the most stressful thing ever. It is stressful. And I have heard some people with horror stories of like the house falling through and all that kind of stuff, but it is possible. Like, it is possible. Like, you know, Evan and I, like, obviously we bought at a point in the market, we bought a house during a housing crisis as two self-employed people, and people were kind of going to us like, oh, would you not wait a few years? But the thing is like, if, you know, again, touch fucking wood because I don't want this to happen, but if there is a huge crash, two self-employed people mightn't get given a mortgage. So it just made sense for us to buy when we were given the mortgage. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent there, but my point being is that it's not like, I kind of like the process. I'm not gonna lie. I loved going to people's houses, seeing them. I loved bidding on the houses. I loved like imagining us living there. I loved like going to the areas and scoping them out. Like, I kind of enjoyed the process, if I'm not lying. But we didn't have a really bumpy road, and I know that we're very lucky in that, because I know a lot of people have like a really fucking hard time where like houses are taken out from under them, and you know, their mortgage going over the 6 months. We were just, it was a very quick process for us. So all I'm saying is it can be a quick process. Now, someone did ask, I did see, what was the time period between going sale agreed and getting your keys? That was the longest for us. So we got mortgage approved June bank holiday, sale agreed, I think it was June 15th, and we only got the keys on October 13th. So that's June, July, August, September, 5 months, which is a long time when you know you bought a house and you can't get the keys. And we had no probate, which a probate basically means like if someone died in the house and their will isn't ready, okay? So sometimes people have to wait like an extra 6 months or an extra 8 months before all the legal stuff can go through. So the legal end of things does take a while, especially if you're buying an old house, because there's all this like planning shit that you have to do. But it's just like, is what it is kind of. But getting the keys was like, oh my God, you just feel like, oh my God, finally I can like start working on the house. So that was the longest period for us, was that 5 month period. Do you think this is your forever home? I fucking hope so. I do think so. There's so much potential with this house. I don't know if I showed you guys, but we have a big garage on the side. So eventually, I think I did show you that eventually like we could build into there. We can extend the attic. We could build an extension if we wanted to. I don't plan on having any more than one child if we do have children. So I don't need a 5-bedroom house. And also like, I don't want a big house. I don't know why people want big houses. Like, all I think of is cleaning them. I'm like, this house is like the perfect size for me. How much do you need for the deposit? Okay, so that's another tip. Start saving. Like, if you think you're ever gonna wanna buy a house, start saving now. I know that's so annoying to hear, but that's what I did, and I was so happy I did, because it meant that once Evan and I decided to start going for mortgage, like I already had a chunk of money there, and I was fucking delighted that I did, like really fucking happy. So start saving now. Open a mortgage or a savings account that's attached to your account. I'm with Bank of Ireland, and I saved with a mortgage savers account they have, and it's just linked to your account, and the direct deposit goes in every single month. And getting out of it, getting the money out is really easy. It doesn't mean you have to get a mortgage at Bank of Ireland, like I didn't, but I was able to like get the money out, and it was just really handy. And also that's the first thing that brokers and banks look for, is like, are you consistent with saving? Like, even if you just have money, like it's better to show like, look, here is like whatever it is, like €500 a month for 6 months. They'll be like, okay, because you have to show, you basically have to show that between your rent that you are renting now, if you are renting an apartment, and your savings, you can afford your mortgage. Like, that's what they're trying to see. So start saving. You will need 10% of, say you want to buy a house that's 400 grand, okay? Your down payment is 40 grand. Now, obviously, you can pay a bigger down payment and then you've got a smaller mortgage, blah, blah, blah. But that's the minimum that you have to have. So think of it that way. So if you're buying a house, that's why buying a house by yourself is quite hard, because you have to have, you're covering for 2 people. If you and your partner are both looking for it, that's it. And you can borrow, is it 4 times your salary now, or is it 3.5? I can't remember. So these are all the things that if you talk to a mortgage broker, they will help you with, because it's all dependent on your own, how much you want to spend, and all the rest. But if you're looking at houses and you see houses for like say 450, think to yourself, okay, I have to have 45 grand saved for that. Do you get me? Was there a lot of competition for the house? We came in last minute and nabbed off someone else. Ooh, sorry. There was 2 other people who wanted it. They were pretty much going to go for these other people until me and Evan came along and we were like, get the fuck out of here. Did you need to bid much more over asking price? We didn't go that much over asking price. I think we went 20 over, which in this market is kind of unheard of. We literally, every house we looked at, we were looking at like how much they went for, and they were going for like minimum. They were kind of all going for around 15% more of their asking price. So we were happy. And we stayed under the budget of what he and I wanted to spend on the house, which I was delighted for. How much of the renovation will you be doing yourself? We're gonna save money wherever the fuck we can. There'll be certain things I won't touch, but there's certain things I will touch. So I have loads of questions about kind of style, like interior style, and I'll end on that because I think I kind of covered everything else, even if I didn't see the question just from yammering on. So as I said, I like the merge of like more traditional old school stuff. Keeping the character of the house is very important for me. Like all these picture rails, they're just like, I'm obsessed with the picture rails. Yeah, so a merge of that and like, I guess like kind of like, I don't know, would I say like modern eclectic? I don't really know what the term is for it. Someone said, can I see your mood boards? I have loads, but maybe I'll show you another day. Like, I think that's more something that will come out as the house gets done, and I'm sure we'll always be doing it. But yeah, one thing that I'm really into is keeping the character of the home, staying true to the era that it was built in. So my style in my mind has kind of changed depending on like because of the house that we bought. Like if we bought a different house in a different era, I might have done it a little bit more modern or whatever, but I've always loved like just like, you know, even just these window frames are so beautiful, like the carpentry on them, as I said, the picture rails, the stairs are all original, the doors are original, so I won't be like modernizing those things. I just want to restore them. I'm not really into like super modern at all. I love just like that kind of blend of eclecticism with the old school stuff and like, I guess modern touches, but like when I say modern, I just don't mean like, you know, I'm not really into the super modern kind of stuff, you know. Anyway, there's a woman staring at me through my window as her dog pisses on my gate. She's like, who is that woman in that abandoned house speaking into her camera? Okay, let me know what you want to see. I will be doing YouTube and Instagram renovation shit because I fucking love it. I love it. It's all I see now, so I hope you'll be along the journey with me. And yeah, bye.